Morning Spooks Tube. Today I want to take you through creating the custom menu for my survival horror game made in RPG Maker. Today's video might be a little bit longer than the last couple. The process I'm going to take you through is using GIMP, which is a free Photoshop, to turn my pencil sketches into fully playable asset in the game. Fully customized menu with options and everything. As always on YouTube, if you want to help me here, the best thing you can do is like, subscribe, comment, give me feedback, and that will definitely help support me in the future. We start off with this pencil sketch of the menu that I've done, obviously on paper and pencil, and I imported that to GIMP and cut around the edges to create a transparency. You can also see there the little elements of the menu that I've done here. So removing the background, and then I separate this layer here because this is going to be the icons that essentially will highlight and you can click on. Colorize that to make it, a metallic color. Separate the options menu there as well, so give that its own little colour, and then like some more highlights here, darken that bit there. I will also use green on another layer here with a pen tool just to highlight around these letters and numbers. Then reduce the opacity on that to make it so that the colour it looks a bit like it's sort of glowing, like it sits on top. A couple more highlights there, create this little window for the vitals thing, which will be the heads up display for the character's life, essentially. That's inspired by the Resident Evil, fine, caution, danger system that you have to pause the game to see. You see here we've got the OK, caution, danger. I'm aware I spelled caution wrong there, which I will correct pretty soon. So we're going to create these layers. So first we start off with that. So the first layer I create here is just OK. So this screen here, literally isolate that, and using layers, we create a new layer there. Copy that onto there, same kind of thing. Swap in the U and the A around here. Probably would have been quicker just to rewrite it, but I quite like the sort of cartoony element of it being, overlapped like that. So removing all the little bits, trimming it down, and then colorizing it to make it a bit orange. And we export that. So create a third layer, which is just the danger sign. So each of these elements is saved as a separate picture. They're actually very small images because it's literally just that with nothing else. Let me export that. I'd basically already created placeholder graphics for all of this originally. And those placeholder graphics now, I'm basically just replacing them one at a time, because basically what I did was I created the menu, made sure everything worked, and now I'm replacing all of the art with the, more polished art, I guess. Trying out something here, just a black sort of shadow thing. I decided it doesn't really work, and I ended up just filling that whole section in with black there. So this bit here is going to be the healing item. So we've got the medkit type thing here, and we're going to have like a display that shows you. This will change based on, a variable in the game to show you the stock of healing items. I was just looking at the colours here and realising that I don't like the sort of pinky colour there, so I'm going to change it to make it black. And I've created 3 different images again that will show a different one based on the stock of how many healing items the character has saved, which is 0, 1, 2, or 3, with 3 being the maximum. These would sort of function like your green herbs in Resident Evil or your health drinks in Silent Hill, just to restore your health by 1 stage. And again, this is a resource management side of things. This is where I believe making it survival horror will come into it, because the next step here, this next section, I call this the repeller, which is this is essentially the weapon of the game. It's not really a weapon because you can't, at the moment, there's no way to kill any enemies, but what this can do is essentially make them run away from you. And it uses the same, stock sort of thing, 0 to 3. So I create that, colorize, make another layer there with like this black texture over it, and use the same technique of creating an opaque layer and little purple squiggles there to create this like mystical, and just turn that up a bit to make it stand out a bit. So again, 4 layers of that, 0, 1, 2, and 3. And again, when the game draws the menu, there'll be a conditional branch which essentially checks the variable, and it just draws whichever image it needs to based on the current stock. So this is going to be the items, the inventory. I ended up basically colorizing this in a way that gets rid of those letters in the corner, and I quite like the way it turns out. Again, it's that kind of cartoony, janky, sort of style but it's my personal touch, I believe. And again, same things, removing the layers, creating different layers. The key is its own layer, and the bag is another layer, and exporting that as the image. And then we've got one more left here, which is the map. I did something a little bit different here, which was basically I tried to essentially I wanted to draw over these with the green pencil, which I'll do in a second. See that? That looks okay, but then I did these lines here, and I wasn't really a fan of this. So what I would do is just undo all of that and just keep that as it is. Export, and then for the last menu here, we have the options menu, which is just one last button there. Just create another layer for that and export that. And now, basically, when I run the game, everything comes together instantly, like that. So the way this works is through common events with a parallel process that essentially has it waits for the input of left and right controls the highlighted option, and then it waits for an OK to choose. So you've got 4 different options there. Let's go try it. So healing items, the repeller, the inventory, which it brings up the inventory, and the map screen, there's maps and options as well. So just gonna cut ahead a little bit, gonna change the scenario so I can basically test out the healing items, repeller, and that kind of thing. So basically what I'm going to do is just remove these test monsters that I've put in here so that I can make one that will actually, do damage to the player. And this is, again, using the built-in RPG Maker's HP system. I'm not sure if it's the best way to do it, but it's the way that I'm doing it. So it essentially just reduces HP by 20. We're not going to allow knockout on this just for the time being, but allow knockout will let it basically kill the player. So just for testing purposes, I'm leaving that switched off for now. And I've created an event here that can basically allow you to pick up some healing items and the repeller. You have to ignore some of the placeholder graphics here, but this is essentially how it will work in the game. So we have 3 different resources. Well, the 3 different resources. The resources here will be the healing item, the repeller, your maps. There's also bombs and a few other things, but they all go under key items. There we go. So you can see the healing item thing, and the vitals in top has gone to caution now because it's been hit twice, and then it gets hit again. Still caution, just wait for him to get hit, and then boom, still caution. One more hit should bring it to danger. Yeah, danger. So now what we'll do is this little event here will found 1 healing item. See there, 1, 2, and 1 more. It's going to collect it. Yep. And then on the menu you see 3, and now you can use those. Can't carry any more because 3 is the maximum. And this is the one that holds the repeller item, which is what will make the enemy run away. So we'll use the healing item first. See, danger will go up to caution. We'll use it again, and then 1 more should bring you up to okay. Yep. And then we have the repeller item, which will make the enemy run away from the player, and off he goes. So yeah, that's how that all works. We'll also have the key items here. Key items go in there. You can see the repeller. It should be on 2 now, but that's something I'll fix at a later date. The map option and the options menu there, which will give you a bunch of different settings for the game. Yeah, so that's how I've created this Resident Evil inspired menu for my game. If you liked this, please remember subscribe, give me comments, let me know some feedback. Thank you very much. Goodbye.